let's put this in its proper perspective. When I think about Caitlin Clark, the operative word that comes to my mind is gratitude. There's an incredible level of gratitude that should be accorded to this young lady with what she did for the sport. That's not to take anything away from anybody else, but I often argue, when I've argued with folks about this, you think NBA players shouldn't be thankful to Magic Johnson? You think NBA players shouldn't be thankful to Larry Bird? You think NBA players shouldn't be thankful to Michael Jordan? Because guess what? There were great players that were in the sport before they ever arrived, who did everything they could to make the NBA what it was. But it was when those brothers arrived that it took on an extra dimension and elevated to another level. I'm just looking at some of the numbers here. When we talk about league attendance, the Indiana Fever, all right, with Caitlin Clark, led the league.
Caitlin Clark, one of basketball's brightest young stars, has just landed a major endorsement deal with Nike. This move has sparked excitement among fans, drawn attention from industry insiders, and fueled discussions about the business side of sports. Clark has taken the basketball world by storm with her unmatched shooting accuracy, court vision, and relentless drive. She dominated the college game, shattered records, and set new standards for women's basketball. But beyond her skills, it's her bold playing style and fierce competitiveness that have won over fans everywhere. Nike, known for partnering with game-changing athletes like Michael Jordan and Serena Williams, clearly sees Clark as the next big name in sports. Her deal with the brand cements her status as a top figure in athletics and highlights the growing influence of women's basketball.
It's not that you're wrong. It's that we don't care. Everything y'all said does not matter for this particular instance. We don't want to hear anything about Team USA. We know they won 7 straight goals. Put Andrea and Shanae up on this screen. I want to look at them this whole segment when I'm talking to them. You just highlighted 7.
However, sports commentator Stephen A. Smith isn't convinced this deal is just about celebrating Clark's talent. He questions whether Nike's move is purely about her basketball brilliance or a strategic play to strengthen its grip on women's sports marketing. Caitlin Clark's journey. Continue with the next part of your content.
Who's starting?
I'll start. George Kittle.
I knew that was going to be the first person he was going to say.
I'm going to say Sam Laporta, just to take Travis's answers away from him before.
Okay. I'm going to go Tyler Linderbaum on the Ravens.
Ooh, that's nice. Nice. I'm going to go Claire Kittle.
Tristan Wirfs.
That's right.
Solid answer.
The Eagles, actually, rookie, Cooper DeJean from Iowa.
Oh, nice. Nijay, what about a little
for us?
TJ Hawkinson?
Ah, that's right. I always forget about him. He's on the Vikings, right?
Yes. He's finally back.
Nike's decision to partner with Clark is clearly a strategic one. She's not just a basketball star, she represents untapped marketing potential and the power to inspire a new generation of athletes and consumers. But this deal is about more than just recognizing her talent. It also puts significant pressure on Clark to deliver both on the court and as a marketable figure. Stephen A. Smith argues that this move is just as much about business strategy as it is about celebrating Clark's success. With women's basketball gaining traction, companies like Nike are eager to capitalize on its rising popularity. By making Clark a key ambassador, Nike signals its support for women in sports, but some critics question whether this is a genuine commitment or simply a way to strengthen its position in a growing market.
That's tough. I think just enjoy every single moment because it goes so fast and life changes so fast and you only get to do a lot of things once. So have fun, enjoy it. Remember why you do it because you love it. You're passionate about it. Don't take it too serious. So I would say that. That's how I've tried to live. And obviously some moments are better than others. As you guys know, you get competitive and caught up, but
this deal shows that Nike views Clark as more than just an athlete. They see her as a cultural icon with the power to drive both sales and social impact. The stakes are high for both sides. Clark faces the pressure of increased visibility and commercial expectations, while Nike is betting on her ability to thrive in a fast-evolving sports landscape. Stephen A. Smith's skepticism also raises questions about Nike's track record. While the brand has built legendary partnerships, not every gamble has paid off. If Clark falls short of the high expectations, whether in her performance or marketability, it could affect both her career and Nike's reputation. However, if this partnership succeeds, it could be a game changer for women's sports endorsements. It would further solidify Clark's influence while positioning Nike as a leader in championing gender equity in athletics.
Well, I was bullied, but that's in the book. That's not, we go into that a little bit in the arena, but yeah, I was, and things that I had to go through now, people will be canceled for saying back then.
So when you see like a Caitlin Clark, what advice would you have maybe for her?
I just love that she tries to stay grounded, and she says she doesn't, what did she say? She doesn't have a social, she doesn't look at her social, and I get it. I don't either. And I think it's so important to continue to do what she's doing, and no matter what other people do, then, if people are negative, it's because they can't do what you do, basically, and hopefully she'll continue to do what she's doing.
Clark's journey is still unfolding, and this deal marks a major turning point. Whether it's a true celebration of her talent or a strategic marketing play, her partnership with Nike highlights the evolving landscape of sports and its growing cultural impact. With the world watching, both Clark and Nike are venturing into uncharted territory, embracing the risks and opportunities that come with such a bold move. Caitlin Clark's groundbreaking endorsement deal has ignited debate across the sports world. Many see it as a defining moment for women's athletics, but others, like outspoken commentator Stephen A. Smith, urge caution before celebrating. Never one to shy away from controversy, Smith acknowledges Clark's brilliance but questions whether this deal genuinely advances women's basketball or simply serves Nike's marketing interests. Is this about real progress, he asks, or just a calculated move to appear progressive and capture attention?
Well, this is much ado about nothing. I'm not worried about Caitlin Clark at all. I don't give a damn if if she doesn't have a great season. First of all, the Indiana Fever ain't that good. Let's get that out the way. At least when you compare them to the upper echelon of the WNBA. Let's just get that out the way. We want to act like, that they're all this. They're not.
Stephen A. Smith isn't losing any sleep over Caitlin Clark's deal. In his view, the hype is overblown. I'm not worried about Caitlin Clark at all, he says. I don't care if she has an off-season or doesn't play up to expectations. His reasoning? He doesn't believe the Indiana Fever are on the same level as the WNBA's top teams. Let's be real, the Fever aren't that good, he states bluntly. At least not when you compare them to the league's elite. Smith pushes back against the idea that Clark's arrival will instantly make Indiana a powerhouse, suggesting that people might be overhyping both her impact and the team's potential.
Bring them and highlight them. This racist equity system, all it does is divide Americans. And the result of this election, in large part, was Americans saying, we're tired of that. We've had enough of that. And Caitlin Clark's going right back to that.
And DEI
That's
is
so right.
DEI is a nonsense thing, but can you think of any profession in which it's more nonsense than athletic competition, in which there are statistics and points scored? It's such a preposterous thing to claim somebody has privilege in a competition of athletics. And not to mention the fact that, you would never say something like that about the NBA, where there are hundreds of black superstars paid millions and millions of dollars. And by the way, that
Smith's commentary has sparked strong reactions. Some view his words as an important critique, shedding light on the complexities of high-profile endorsements. They argue that these deals often turn athletes into symbols for larger, profit-driven campaigns rather than celebrating their individual accomplishments. Others, however, feel that Smith's skepticism risks overshadowing the historic significance of Clark's achievement. They see her deal as a major step forward for women's sports, regardless of the business motivations behind it. One thing is clear, Smith's remarks have ignited a heated debate, ensuring that this deal, and its broader implications, won't go unnoticed. It also highlights a lingering issue in sports. While progress is being made in closing the gender gap in endorsements, it often comes with strings attached.
It's going up against the best defense in the WNBA.
I don't give a damn about the 10 turnovers. It did nothing to me. It's her first professional game. Obviously, she was a bit aggressive. I'm looking for the aggression. I'm looking for the sniper-like mentality. This girl launched threes from all over the place. Now, obviously, shoot 5 of 15 from the field, if I remember correctly, ain't the greatest percentage, and we get all of that. But you know what? She showed her range on this level. She was getting double teamed. You know why she was getting double teamed? Because they know she can launch it. And why is she a star? Because we know that she will pull up from the logo, and it goes in. And so when you show that capability in your first game, to me, that's just a sign of things to come, and I love it.
You know what's kind of
Clark's deal shines a light on the ongoing disparity in sports endorsements between male and female athletes. For years, men have secured the biggest sponsorship deals, while women have had to fight for equal pay and visibility. While Clark's contract is a step forward, a win for women's sports, it also exposes how much progress is still needed. Smith has amplified this issue, noting that even though Clark's deal is groundbreaking, it still falls short compared to the massive contracts routinely given to male athletes. What about the countless talented women still fighting for recognition, he asks, challenging brands to prove their commitment to equality by making real investments in women's sports, not just in a select few, but across the board.
Well, I think a lot of folks were wondering, after you talked a lot about waiting until the season was over to make the decision, they were wondering why you decided that right now was the right time to announce.
I think just going into senior night, having that decision clear, not only for myself, but our fans, my teammates, I think that was super important. And honestly, just, I don't know, getting the weight of the world off my shoulders and being able to enjoy this last month with my teammates, I think is the biggest thing. And, you know, I think I kind of knew in my heart. So being able to kind of get that off my shoulders was the biggest thing. And yeah, I think it's just important going into this final stretch, whether it's, you know, our last home game and then obviously probably hosting 2 games at home. I think just really enjoying that and soaking that in.
Clark's partnership with Nike is undeniably a step forward, reflecting the growing momentum of women's sports. However, true equality will come only when deals like hers are no longer seen as groundbreaking but simply the norm. For now, this deal sets the stage for future progress, but the broader fight for parity continues. While some see it as a major milestone, others argue that there's still a long way to go. One thing is certain, the conversation isn't over, and the push for real change in women's sports is far from finished.
My parents are here tonight over here. My dad was actually my first ever AAU basketball coach, so this is kind of a full circle moment, and I grew up playing a lot of AAU sports, whether it was softball, basketball, soccer. I did it all, and I actually grew up playing with the boys. That's all I knew until I was in about 4th grade, so I give that a lot of credit for the person I am today, but also the player kind of pushed me and made me maybe a little too feisty if you've ever watched me. I'm a little feisty out there, but no, I love them, and they've been my rock, and my 2 brothers aren't here today, but they've picked on me, like I said earlier, they picked on me more than anybody, and I kind of held my own, gave them a few concussions and staples in the head, so sorry, Mom, about that, but yeah, other than that, my teammates...
While many celebrate Caitlin Clark's deal as a major milestone for women's sports, not everyone is on board. Critics argue that Nike prioritized marketability over merit, overlooking other deserving athletes in favor of Clark's widespread appeal. As a result, her contract has become one of the most debated sponsorships in recent memory. Stephen A. Smith didn't hold back, acknowledging Clark's talent while questioning Nike's true motives. He asked whether deals like this represent genuine progress or are simply strategic moves to maximize corporate profits under the banner of supporting women's sports. As the debate continues, 2 clear sides have emerged. Those who see this as a victory for women's athletics and those who remain skeptical of Nike's intentions. One thing is certain, the conversation is far from over.
Iowa plus 12 with rebounding. Every scouting report talks about picking up Casey Crossett. Mike, on there's a rebound for Clark. Her first of the second half. With a great catch.
Baseline drive, baseline drip. Yeah.
Starting now, coming off the bench for Coach McGuff, get some size.
With this historic deal comes immense pressure for Caitlin Clark to deliver. Every shot, every move, and every game will now be under intense scrutiny. The stakes are higher than ever. It's no longer just about her performance on the court but also about proving she's worth every dollar Nike has invested in her. Stephen A. Smith captured this double-edged reality, pointing out that while Clark thrives under pressure, the relentless spotlight can take its toll. Fans will celebrate her successes, but critics will be quick to dissect every misstep. It's a high-risk, high-reward situation, one where triumph could cement her legacy, but any struggles could be blown out of proportion. Clark's talent and determination suggest she's ready for the challenge, but the expectations surrounding her have never been greater. Now, the big question looms, can she rise to the occasion? The world is watching, and many are already wondering, could she be the next all-time great?
But what's not debatable is the fact that Caitlin Clark has handled her branding extremely well. Whereas with Angel Reese, sometimes you find yourself scratching your head and wondering what the hell she's doing. Like that photo right there. Listen, I see the way you walk in the game. Just listen. She's a beautiful young lady. And there's a lot of beautiful young ladies in the WNBA. But when you do that, you can't come down the line and complain about being...
When greatness emerges, comparisons are inevitable. Caitlin Clark is already being mentioned alongside legends like Michael Jordan, Serena Williams, and LeBron James. Fans and analysts alike are asking, is she on the path to that level of greatness, or is it too soon to say? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain, Clark's impact on the game is undeniable, and the world will be watching every step of her journey.
It's so special. This place, I just ran out when we first got here, and I had chills all over my body, and I'm just really grateful that they support women's basketball like this, support our team like this. I had a lot of friends and family in the crowd tonight supporting me, so it's really special. I'm thankful for our coaching staff that wanted to bring me back here and have this opportunity to play, and thank you to our administration that made this all happen. It's easier said than done, so I'm just really grateful and thankful for all these people.
Start for Caitlin.
Caitlin, how was that?
Yeah, I'm happy for her. I called her and talked to her on the phone. I think she probably put a lot of thought into it and making this decision, so I couldn't be more happy for her. I probably took a couple years off of her career for having to coach me for 4, but no, I think the program's going to be in a really good place with Coach Jay taking over. Somebody that's been very selfless, has had a lot of head coaching opportunities, but has passed those up to help our program be a lot better. So I think having that common figure in the locker room for the girls that are still there and the recruits that are still there. But I know Coach Bluter will still be around a lot, so I'm happy for her. I know she's missed out on a lot of family things and, getting to see her son last